Yo, what's goody? Oh man, let me get my there we go. What's good, man? This is your boy at DFSMasterMind underscore over on Twitter. I know I'm running late today. Excuse me. It's Yingling. I know I'm running a little late today, man. I just got home later than I expected. But I know a lot of people won't see this video, but for those of you who will have time to check it out, I'm gonna go ahead and put my takes out there, let you know who I'm targeting tonight, who I'm going after, what pitchers I like. So yeah, man. I'm gonna stop wasting time, man, so I can go ahead and upload the video. We got a monster slate. We have stud pitchers everywhere. 14 games, man. So damn near everybody's playing, and I think we actually have 15 today. The two other teams played earlier, so it's a monster slate. Tons of value, ton of options to go with. But I can't touch all of them because I can't play everybody. So I'm gonna let you know the plays that I want to target. Starting off with pitcher, man. In my cash games, I will definitely have me some Steven Strasburg. I'm going to take the slight discount, man, and I'm going to rock with Strasburg over Clayton Kershaw. I do feel like both pitchers are in an excellent situation. The reason I'm going Strassi over Clayton Kershaw because the Brewers have been more on an uptick, and the Athletics they've been going down. They got handled by the Indians the whole series, and then they also got handled by the Yankees fairly easy. So I rather two-step pitchers. They're pretty similar in price, man. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. But for my money, I rather spend it on Strasburg, he's in a better pitcher's environment. But Clayton Kershaw is a GOAT, man. So if you want to pay for him, feel free, man. Feel free. But don't be surprised if he gives up. I could see him giving up 2 homers tonight, man. I really could. The Brewers got a lot of sneaky power, man, and they've been playing really good baseball. But we all know they strike out a ton. So that's your decision. But as for where I'm going for Strasburg, save a few dollars. He's going up against the Athletics, like I was saying. And their offense just hasn't been producing, man. They've really been struggling. I'm going to pull up something really quick just to confirm it. Athletics, let me see them. Where did they go? I cannot find these boys, man. This is embarrassing. There we go. Okay, look, over the last 3 days, their batting average is at 0.196. They're just terrible, man. Let me pull up the strikeout rate over the last few days. Gotta wait till it upload, man. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't have my ish together, man. Feel bad. Oh my goodness. Look. Over the last 3 days, they've been striking out at a rate of 15.67%. That is it's the highest on the board right now. And yesterday they actually hit 17. So I'm like I knew I was going with Strassi, but now for sure, absolutely, I'm plugging them in. For my cash pitcher, man, that's what I'm rocking with. Now, tournament, I will have Strassi in a tournament as well because I think the upside is it could be ridiculous tonight. But another a little cheaper guy, man. On my tournaments, I like to pay down for pitching a lot of the times. But I think I'm gonna rock with Michael Pineda, man. I think his swing and strike stuff is ridiculous. He's just such a good pitcher, man. I love this young dude. He's going up against the Blue Jays though, and I respect the Blue Jays. I really do. Yesterday we seen them not come through. Yesterday they didn't have a great game. CC Sabathia, we got to give him a quick shout out, man, because he's been balling. Shout out to him. But I think Michael Pineda could have success against the Toronto Blue Jays as well. I'm just in love with his swing and strike rate is pretty high. And he's a right-handed pitcher. He's going up against a ton of right-handed hitters. The 4 and 5 hole, of course, you got Morales and Smoke. So that'll be the only like handicap. Man, so I think Michael Pineda, man, I think we can lock him in for a solid 40 piece tonight. I think he'll definitely get the win, get a quality start. So for a tournament option, I'm looking at him. I will have him as one of my tournament plays. And that's going to be it, man. Those are 2 pitchers I'm using. What I've been trying to do, I've been trying to cut my stuff back, man. I've been trying to do, like if I do cash, I'll just have one lineup. And GPPs, I'll have one lineup, and I'll just run it in everything I enter, man, because sometimes I try to cover too many spots and I end up messing myself up. So I want to stay on the same plays. When I first started doing videos in basketball, I always used to do the 3 players that I lock in, man. It was actually 4. 4 for 4 is what I used to call it. So I used to always have 4 players in every single one of my lineups, and that way, if I'm right on my initial plays, my 4 plays starting off, I'm ahead of the field, man, with my picks that I have in every single lineup. So it's just good to have a base, man. So I'm trying to do the same thing in baseball, man. That's why I'm trying to give you these quick hits and let you know some of my plays. But those are definitely going to be my 2 pitchers. I know I'm rambling a little bit, but we finna move on. Now let's get into the fun stuff, these bats. We have a bunch of places to go, man. Starting off, Boston is definitely in play. I think we can actually look at Philly today going up against Blatch. I think he's in he's in a spot to be taken advantage of. The Phillies have a pretty high run total at 4.7. And the Phillies are starting to get hot. They're going up against a lefty. So I think Phillies are definitely in play, man, if you want to pile up on some of these right-handed bats. I think Miguel Franco, definitely a cheap option. And I like Howie Kendrick, man. He got back in the lineup. He's been showing up. Other bats I definitely want to stack this Atlanta and Cincinnati game. One of the highest totals on the night. We got Bronson Arroyo on the mound. It's at small ballpark, man, so we can definitely load up on some Atlanta bats. And then I think Cincinnati Red Bats are definitely in play just because they stay hot, especially when they play at home. Billy Hamilton, I believe you can lock him in for 2 stolen bases. Votto will probably go yard. And, yeah, you can take your chances on this one, man. I like this game as a game stack. Either side, man, but mainly Atlanta bats, man. They're definitely in play. One of my favorite stacks on the night is going to be Detroit going up against a lefty, man. Y'all know how I love whenever I see a lefty going up against Detroit, I look at it and I lock it in, man, because runs will be had. They have an implied run total of 5.3. They're definitely in play. And Derek Holland is not that good, man, so feel comfortable with that. I don't want any. I don't want Brewer bats. I don't want Dodger bats. They're going up against Jimmy Nelson. They could rock them, but Milwaukee, man, they've been playing pretty good. Surprisingly, I think they're leading their division, if I'm not mistaken. They're one of the top teams, man. We got to respect them a little more. I know we kind of brush over them because they strike out a lot. No Ryan Braun in the lineup, but they're decent, man. I don't want to mess with that, man. It's just better options. Cleveland, some bets should be in play going up against Vargas. And Josh Tomlin, I don't respect him that much, man. I think he's sorry. So if you wanted to take a shot on some of these Royal bats, feel free. Mike Moustakas is in play. He got back in the lineup, so we can look at him. And then we got Washington and Athletics. Y'all know I'm going with Strassi. So I think, and another thing about Strasburg, I think he'll definitely get the win. And he'll for sure get a quality start. I love it, man. The run support will be there. So if you want to take a look at some of these national bats, feel free, man. Treggs is one of my low-key favorite pitchers, like one of my cheaper guys that I always like. On a different slate, well, in this matchup, I still wouldn't pick him, but I do respect him as a pitcher, man. But you have to be an elite arm to get to these Nationals, man. So I'm not gonna mess with that. Minnesota and the Angels. I think we can definitely look at some Angels bats. Cole Calhoun, man, he saved my night last night. I had a terrible, terrible night. I actually set a personal low for as far as a GPP score. But Cole Calhoun, he came through, man, in my cash games, allowed me to get my money back. So I didn't lose anything. So it was a good night, man. It was a real good night. So shout out to him. And maybe he's breaking out of this slump, man. I know he was like 1 for 24 in his last 25 bats. So, maybe he's getting ready, man. He had 2 homers last night, man. That's a key sign. And Cal Gibson is trash. So I can look at some pool hosts again. He only got me 3 points last night. Pretty upset about that. But some of these Angel bats are in play. Next game, we got the Rockies and Padres. I don't want much out of this game. I think this is one of those I'm going to try to avoid. San Diego, they don't have a positive ballpark for hitters. They got 2 pitchers on the mound. I don't know what to say about them, man. I don't really want to, I think they are targetable. I just don't like this game, man. So I'm not gonna invest too much in it. Now you can definitely do one-offs, man, with your favorite plays. That's always an option, no matter who's on the mound. But I don't think it's gonna be a ton of run scores, so I'm gonna kind of stay away from this one. Then we have the Rays and Mariners. This game, I do think we can get some Rays bats. They should be in play going up against Bergman. And the Mariners, they've been popping, man. To be real, I'm gonna use Heredia. I'm gonna go ahead and lock him in as one of my picks for tonight. Guillermo Heredia, he's been balling. I've been picking him these past few days, and he's been doing pretty good, man. So hopefully they bump him up in this order whenever this lineup officially comes out. But I think he's in play, man. He's starting to see the ball really well at the plate, but not a all-out stacking situation for me. Well, with Rays, I feel like you can actually. I don't trust Bergman. I don't think he's a good pitcher, so. Feel free to have it. And that's actually the last game, so I'm going to do a quick recap, man. Pitching, y'all know we're doing Michael Pineda, Strasburg. My 1-game stack is going to be Atlanta, Cincinnati Reds. Now 3 teams to stack: Boston, Philly, Detroit, man. We're going to be all over that. And I think that's going to do it, man. I know I mentioned some other teams that I like certain situations on, but those are my top 3, man. I think those teams should definitely show out. Hopefully y'all get to the green line. Bless up, man. Let's cash out, y'all.